What's up, guys? Man, it's been a while since I made a video. How's everyone's week been going? I hope everyone's getting a little hyped up for the football season. We're less than 98 days away, if I counted right. Looking forward to it. So I have a lot of stuff to go over. A lot of stuff I've been reading about, seeing. Some of the other bloggers have been reading. They've posted a few stuff. I got quite a bit of stuff to go over. First things first, this is week 2 of OTAs. Been hearing a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff that's been going on at the team camp, OTAs. A lot of injuries. People missing time. One for sure, I know you have all heard, Orlando McClain leaving for family maybe problems, family issues, I don't know. Then there's another guy that was gone was Jack Crawford. Now he's back. He had a few sorry about that. Had a little issue here at my house. Okay, where were we? We were talking about guys missing OTAs. Right. Orlando McClain missed. This is his second week. He has yet to do a full off season. One thing after another. I don't know what's going on with him. I know it's family. I don't know what kind of family issues he had. So I don't know. None of the guys know. So they just said left it like that. So I don't know. It's kind of frustrating for us fans that he's a playmaker. He's a hell of a playmaker. Saved the game against Seattle 2 years ago. He led a team in tackles 2 years in a row next to Sean Lee. He just can't get a full offseason going. I mean, he has to be there. Jason Garrett says that they have to be there. It's a team effort, not just a Orlando McClain effort. Some of y'all would disagree, some of y'all would agree, but you can't win titles when you got one of your key components in your defense, in your linebacker core, who can't be there. A guy they put in there, they plugged in his spot was Anthony Hitchens. He's I can't say he's the real deal, but he's whenever they put him everywhere along that linebacker core, he's really stepped up, made a lot of plays. So I don't know. Orlando McClain couldn't. I don't know. Another guy who was gone, McFadden, family emergency. They expect him back next week. So he's I could understand family emergency, not family issues. There's a difference, but well. He's a part in the running game that we do need. He's in competition with our first rounder Ezekiel Elliott and Alfred Morris. Family emergency is way different from family issues. They're making the big bucks, so they have their reasons for leaving. I did tell y'all, Jack Crawford, he was gone he didn't make it last week due to he was trying to get a work permit. He went back to, I guess, England. That's where he's originally from. He got a work visa. Now he's back in the lineup. And they said he looks good. I just had to take care of that little issue. I could understand that. So I think he's gonna turn out pretty well. The only thing is that he's more. I kind of see he has a size for a defensive end. I think that's where they're having him at. They could plug him in at defensive tackle, but not sure. So that's basically all the guys that were missing so far. I think other than injuries that have been rehab, a bunch of rehab. I can name a few of the guys. Few of the guys at Church with the forearm, Dunbar with the ACL, Lee with the last surgery he had. DeMarcus Lawrence, he just recently had back surgery a few months ago, still recovering from that. So everything's okay with him. It's just minor, I guess, to fix something in his back. And well, of course, Dez. Actually, I read today that Dez he had his X-rays done on his foot. Everything's okay. The doctors finally let him do at least football drills, cuts, or whatever drills they got him doing. Maybe running a little bit of routes, nothing too serious. So that's a positive. All these guys, I think there's more. I didn't get a chance to catch them all, but I think that, it's going to hurt the team a little bit. But hey, their injuries, you can't control injuries. You can't control to get injuries. They happen. So, all these guys, they're key components in this, on both sides of the ball. I think it's more, well, it's actually half and half what I read out. I know there's more guys out there that are, sitting out. So, oh well, we can't do nothing about that. We gotta let them heal because we do need them this year. I kind of see the Cowboys maybe another 12-4 season if they get everybody back. Everybody comes back, man, it'll be great. There was some other stuff. Like I said, Darren McFadden has been out with he was out with the family emergency this week. So they plugged in Ezekiel Elliott at number 1 back, and with Alfred Morris and another guy, I think his name is Jackson. And from what I've seen the last 2 days in videos that I've seen, he looks pretty good. He has great vision from what I've seen. He's a work. I kind of see him as the workhorse. Once Darren McFadden gets back, they'll plug him back in. They'll put McFadden back at first team, but they have been, swapping out with actually all 3 running backs, and that other rookies taking the second team snaps. So it's been looking really good. OTA, they say everything's been going really well. One thing I failed to mention just a minute ago was our 3rd rounder they just barely drafted, broken foot last week. That's just terrible. Well, it could go both ways. It's good timing and bad timing. The good timing is he could come back before the season actually started. They're hoping he'll be dipped back at least to get at least 1 game in the preseason, because it kind of screws up their defensive line rotation. And plus, he's not back by regular season. They already got 2 guys that are out with suspensions. DeMarcus Lawrence, who's appealing it. So far, no one said anything about it. They're just not saying nothing. I don't know what's going on with that process. And Randy Gregory with the 4-game suspension. So I don't know. It's a bad deal with those 2, but I don't know. Maybe Lawrence will get his appeal and maybe a fine, or at least reduce to 2 games. But that whole 3rd rounder breaking his foot, they said that he was just running a drill and broke his foot. It's something, like I said, they can't control. You can't control that. So it's a bad deal, but hey, it's football. It comes and goes. One thing I did want to talk to y'all about was that Leary's trade request. I kind of see where he's coming from. He's you know, they plugged him in around the beginning of the season and was doing good. And around middle of the season they put in Little Collins, and he's done fantastic. Well, they predicted him first round. That whole thing with that murder, and last year he was questioned by the police for the murder of his ex-girlfriend. Dropped the stock dramatically. He went undrafted, and they had him top 10 draft pick. And now he took over the starting job. Of course, Ronald Leary's gonna be a little upset about it, but hey, they found the guy that was better than him, and now he wants a trade request. He shouldn't have signed that tender. I think they had a second or third round tender on him for I don't know how much money, but OTAs are just voluntary. They got one more week of OTAs, and then they're gonna go to minicamp in this towards the middle of the month, and he'll get fined for it. So he needs to be there. Like Jason Garrett, he said in his press conference, everybody needs to be there. Everybody does, but obviously Larry doesn't want to be there. That's his own thing. If he wants to get paid, he needs to be there. Unless he wants to get charged, get charged a fine. Hey, that's on him. I'm hoping the Cowboys are trying to shop him to get in their pick for next year, or trade with some, to get something out of him. I know they had a second round tender, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. One thing I did want to say about Ezekiel Elliott was that, man, he just looks natural. I mean, natural. And passing, I seen one play where it was during the blitz period. I think it was yesterday. I watched the video, and he went out to the flat, and Romo caught him, and man, he's quick, makes his cuts. Man, he's fast. Fast guy, smart kid. He's younger than me, making more money than me, but hey, he had the opportunity. I didn't, so I can't complain about it. So, but he looks like the real deal. Oh yeah, he looks like the real deal. I can honestly say. I don't know about that whole our third rounder breaking his foot. How bad that's gonna how it's gonna affect the D-line rotation. It could screw it up, but it's still early. It's still way early. So it's just we gotta wait and see. What Rob Marinelli does. See how that goes. So, another thing I wanted to, Rico Gathers was gone. He hasn't actually been there, but that's for school reasons. I guess every college has their own different way of doing their finals. So, they said he was back today. I seen a video. I seen one of the videos where they had him lined up on the right side of the line, and he got a false start. But hey, he hasn't played football since the 8th grade. That's crazy. But obviously the Cowboys saw something we didn't. But I like the pick. They never have enough tight ends. Jason Wynn's getting up there in age, so they got to find his successor. So see how that goes. Another thing that a lot of people have been talking about online, on Twitter, is that Moore at number 2, Kellen Moore at number 2 quarterback. I like him. I like him at number 2. This is his first full off season. He's already been in the system, Scott Linehan's system, for a while. So he's already really comfortable. He says he's really comfortable. He understands that NFL's a business. I could see him as a number 2. One video I did see that they were talking about was that he's a number 2. They can't plug him in as a starter. He has a reputation of from Boise State. He has a record of wins for a quarterback. So he's a number 2. Romo goes down again, God forbid Romo goes down again, they'll put him in. You know, he knows the system. Just a little bit of language that they did say that did change. But other than that, he looks real comfortable. Scott Linehan, you know, loves him. You know, he's a smart kid, really smart. So we'll see how it goes. Another who I think that could take the number 2 spot, other than Prescott, would be Jamil Showers. You know, they had him last season. They had him at they had him as a backup, and then they put him on special teams, which is kind of stupid. Even though he did make some tackles on special teams, but he was fighting for a spot. I mean, he had no choice. I mean, so far a lot of these guys, Dallas Cowboy writers, they really like Jamil Showers. He's really looking good. I kind of think he could go over Prescott, but I don't think Prescott's gonna go nowhere. You know, I know he's still practice squad eligible. So I don't know. I like Jamil Showers too. He could be a possible number 2. He can beat Kellen Moore and Prescott. I mean, it could happen. He looked good from the videos I've seen from him so far. Tony Romo, he says he feels the best he's ever felt in a long time. He looks really good. You know, passing motion's really good. He looked good. I mean, footwork's amazing. He looks the same old Romo at 12-4 2 years ago. And hopefully that he could stay that way. That's what we want. You know, all us Cowboy fans, that's what we want. We want him to, you know, stay upright. You know, with Ezekiel Elliott, who is a complete running back who can block. I think the Cowboys could be a really good contender for the NFC East. Super Bowl wise, just see how the season goes. So we'll see what happens from there. Another thing I really wanted to get with y'all was there's a couple of rookies that really stood out. I've been reading a lot about. One of them was an offensive tackle, Cole. I don't know if he's a rookie or they picked him up, or an undrafted rookie. I think that he was a center or guard. He's been really standing out to these guys. You know, he has to make a name for himself. He's not really guaranteed to have that 53-man spot. You know, we'll see how that with him, and then that wide receiver from Notre Dame, Brown. I've seen a few pictures and a very little video on him, and he's making everything they've thrown at him. He's caught. He was Jalen Smith's teammate, so you know that's good. He has a former teammate there to help him out. You know, Jalen Smith, I haven't heard much. The only thing, the last tweet he tweeted was, you know, patience for his injuries. He understands. He's not going anywhere anyways. But they haven't put him on injury reserve. Like I said before in my other videos, they know something we don't. That is something that's mind blowing. Is the Cowboys know something? I mean, obviously they would have put him on injury reserve right away, but they know something we don't. So that's it on that. I'm sorry about this, but going back to our Collins, our 3rd round pick, our defensive tackle, out 9 to 12 weeks. That's 3 months. So we're all hoping he'll be back in time for the regular season, or at least miss one game. But he really needs to get out there and get some reps. And these snaps are precious to everybody. Not just the rookies, everybody. Jason Garrett keeps a high competition level. He keeps the competition level high. No one's spot's guaranteed. Even Tony Romo, even we could say, yeah, he's a starter, but maybe Kellen Moore or Prescott or Jamil Showers could take his spot. But so far, Romo's in there. Just yeah, but that's just bad. I mean, it just hurt. It just hurt him real bad. That Collins' broken foot. Just it could happen. Back to Jamil Showers. He's strictly quarterback. No more special teams. No more nothing. They put him at quarterback. I know the special teams coach was a little mad for that, but hey, he's a quarterback. A quarterback shouldn't be on special teams. But if he's fighting for a spot on the team, then I guess you gotta do whatever it takes. But so far, it's strictly quarterback, and that's just the way it is. Another thing I really wanted to talk about. Oh, I don't know if you guys seen the NFL released, future Super Bowls. Super Bowl 51 in Houston, 52 in Minneapolis at the new stadium there, 53 in Atlanta. That's actually a new stadium as well. Speaking of Atlanta, they released, I believe it was last week, they released they were going to lower their prices down on all concessions. I don't know about on alcohol. I don't know how they do that. But they are going to lower down the prices on alcohol on all concessions, which is crazy. But hey, they got to get the fans in there, which is pretty smart too. Super Bowl 54 in South Florida against Miami. And Super Bowl 55 will be in Los Angeles. That's gonna be. It's been a while since the Super Bowl's been in Los Angeles. So we'll see how that. Those are the future Super Bowls. Another thing, Tapper, could he be the surprise rookie coming out of these OTAs and training camp? I kind of think so. So we'll just see how it goes. If you have any questions, comment down below. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. Please subscribe. I need more subscribers. I know I didn't get my goal for the month, but hey, we're gonna leave it at 10 subscribers from now. Pass the word to any YouTubers that do Dad's Cowboy videos. Please have them subscribe. I'll subscribe back to their page. Please follow this. Please subscribe to another Dallas Cowboy YouTuber, Lawrence Thomas. He's on. He does some YouTube stuff as well for Dallas Cowboys. He does a few videos for them. He has some. I've seen his videos. They're good videos. He has a good voice of what he thinks about them. So please leave a like. I'd appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you later.